So the San Francisco 49ers showed the New York Jets what a Super Bowl contender looks like last night for Monday Night Football. This is the Fantasy Sports Boss. Hit that subscribe button. Jets, 49ers, wrap up. And boy, we certainly had some storylines going into this one as we found out late that Christian McCaffrey, the #1 pick in 2024 drafts by consensus, was not going to play because of the calf and a more scary designation with his Achilles. Just did not allow him enough time to prepare for the opener. So Jordan Mason, who I said was the #1 handcuff running back coming into the season, got the start, and Mason went bonkers. And the 49ers, again, reminding the Jets that so far they're going to be outclassed at the start of this season. That's exactly what happened. So as far as the 49ers are concerned, Jordan Mason, I mean, my goodness, 28 carries for 147 yards and a touchdown. He was basically the entire running game, only had one catch for 5 yards. Deebo Samuel also was big in this one, 8 carries for 23 yards and a touchdown. 5 catches for 54 yards. As Brandon Ayuk was still getting up to speed, Ayuk 2 catches for 28 yards, had a bad drop in this one as well. Clearly showed Russ he was on a snap count. But the Jets could not stop the run. And the person who was most happy about this, sitting at home, probably toasting with his agent, was Hassan Reddick. The Jets got to get Hassan Reddick in here. The Jets have struggled to stop the run going back to the second half of last year. And this is going to be a big problem for them as they let Jordan Mason average 5.3 yards per carry. Listen, if you're a Christian McCaffrey owner, you should have already owned Jordan Mason. It was the easiest call to make because you know the fragile nature of McCaffrey. And I remind you again, I told you to fade McCaffrey. Even with the #1 pick, I prefer Bijan, I prefer Breece Hall because of the age, because of the past injury concerns, and the high allotment of touches he's had. The last few years. George Kittle, 4 catches for 40 yards. Just a typical Kittle game. Juwan Jennings had 5 for 64. He was the leading receiver for the 49ers. Brock Purdy, 19 to 29, 231, no touchdowns, no picks. I told you to bench both quarterbacks for this one. This is why the Jets secondary, a tough matchup for Purdy, who really hasn't played well at all this summer. Now, as far as the Jets are concerned, I mean, clearly there was a coaching mismatch right at the top of Kyle Shanahan and Robert Saleh. Aaron Rodgers made his return and made it through the game, which is progress. 13 of 21, 167, a touchdown and a pick. And again, I told you guys not to play him. He was pulled late for Tyrod Taylor because this game was out of reach. Now, Breece Hall. Let's talk about Breece Hall. 16 carries for 54 yards and a touchdown, but he did lose a fumble. Only averaged 3.4 per carry, 5 catches for 39 yards. He's a superb receiver, no doubt about it. PPR stud. The problem with Breece Hall, and we saw it again last night, he is not a good short yardage back. He routinely gets stuffed. He's not this tackle-breaking power runner. He's a tremendous athlete, 0 to 60 guy, can score anytime he gets a little bit of daylight. But if he continues to struggle in close, near the goal line, 4th and 1, 3rd and 1, don't be surprised if Braylon Allen, who had a huge preseason, the rookie out of Wisconsin, the big bruising back, who only got 1 carry, but he took it for 9 yards. Don't be surprised if Allen becomes, his 1 carry for 8 yards, and he had 1 catch for 9 yards. Don't be surprised if Allen starts to eat into those, maybe even goal line carries. And that was what the chatter was when he was drafted. Is he going to be the goal line carry guy for the Jets? So that's something to keep an eye on. But again, raw volume, 18-plus PPR points. Breece Hall still right there among the best players in the game. Allen Lazard led the Jets, 6 for 89 and 2 touchdowns. So Allen Lazard, if you had Allen Lazard, salute, because he was unbelievable in this one. Tyrod Taylor threw the touchdown to him late, the second one. Listen, we know Allen Lazard was awful last year. We know how good of a receiver he was, though, with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. So, I mean, is he worth a look in really deep leagues? Probably not, because Mike Williams will be coming back and pass him on the depth chart. Garrett Wilson, 6 for 60. So, 12 PPR points. You expected more, especially when he had, 4 catches in the first quarter. You thought, oh my God, this could be a huge game for him, but it really wasn't. So the Jets offense was stymied by the 49ers defense, and it was really a listless game altogether. So that's the take for this one. Post in the comments below what you thought about any of the issues in this game. Hit the subscribe button. More videos coming soon.